Yeah, so guys, today we're going to be cooking a beautiful chicken gyros on the Souvla.
So for this recipe, we're going to be using 10 kilos of chicken leg fillet. Now we've opted to go for the leg fillet because we want a larger cut of meat. And as you can see, our gyros discs are quite large. We really want to cook a fat stomper gyros today.
For this marinade, we're only using 6 ingredients. The first thing we're going to do is add 500 ml of Greek olive oil. We're going to put this in a bowl and mix everything together in here. Then we're going to add 5 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. The next thing we're going to do is crush 10 cloves of garlic. So I've got myself a mincer. And slowly we just work through all the garlic. So the next thing we'll be putting in is 13.5 grams of oregano. Now add 140 grams of sea salt. And to finish off, 15 grams of black pepper. Now I'm going to grab myself a spoon and give it all a good mix.
Smelling good, Randoni.
Oh, it's bloody beautiful, mate.
So now that the marinade's sorted, we're going to start applying it into the chicken here. So slowly, we're going to start tipping this all over the top. Make sure everything gets evenly coated. Take your time, there's no rush. You want to do a good job and let the flavours infuse evenly everywhere. Now guys, I'm telling you, and does this smell wild or off its head?
That's absolutely unreal.
Now that the chicken's been massaged well and the marinade's gone through everything, we're going to cover it up and we're going to let it set for about 2 hours today. Now we're not going to pop this in the fridge, we're going to leave ours out. This is something though that you can do overnight if you like and have it prepared ready just to start cooking the next day. But always remember, take it out at least half an hour before you start cooking because you want the meat to come to room temperature.
If you haven't seen any of our other videos, we start our charcoal by using cotton wool and methylated spirits. We grab a few bunches and spread it out evenly. The cotton wool will contain the methylated spirits and make it easy for us to light.
And it leaves, it doesn't leave any bad smells, odours or any chemicals around.
While we're waiting for our charcoal to light, we're going to start preparing our spit. We've got our large rod with our disc in place.
We've got it on the spit and we've already prepared it to size correctly on our barbecue. Every barbecue's a bit different and you're just going to have to play around with it at home and make it fit accordingly to your barbecue.
Oh, check that marinade. Ooh, that's wild, Nico. So now we're going to start spitting the chicken. We're going to chuck the chicken in the center of the rod, feed it all the way down.
The ideal situation would be probably to have this rod on the floor or on a table if it was a shorter rod. So it's in the upright position. But because of the size of ours, we just work together and then we'll just rejig it so it's all center after.
Now we've got all the chicken on the spit, we're going to close it off with the second plate. I will slide him on, compact it in, compact it down.
Have a look at the juices, man. So guys, we've got this on nice and tight. You want to make sure that your bolt at the end is closed really good. The last thing you need is this sliding as it's on the Souvla.
And this is what our finished spit looks like. 10 kilos of juicy chicken leg fillet. So now that the charcoal's completely lit, we're just going to grab our shovel and compact it down. This is going to allow our charcoal to last a lot longer and contain a stronger heat throughout the cook.
Right, so we pop this on the charcoal.
Alright, I'm on.
And we're cooking. So guys, when you're cooking gyros, you want to cook it close to the heat. It has to be at a high temperature. We're not trying to slow cook this. We just want to basically grill it on the outside. After about half an hour, it's going to have enough color to give it its first cut. And that's what we're going to continue doing. We're just going to keep cooking it and slicing as the ends crisp up. And you basically continue this all the way through to the end.
Now it's time to prepare for a few mezzadacchia while we're waiting for the gyros to cook. A few luganica.
If you're a little bit impatient like us, you might want to start eating a little bit earlier on in the piece. These are very simple. You almost just put it on the Souvla and set and forget.
Yep.
They don't require much attention at all.
Now that the gyros is on, we've got a few luganica on for mezzadacchia. Now people are starting to come, we'll just start handing it out as we go along.
And the gyros now has been cooking for 15 minutes. It's starting to get a bit of colour. We've just scratched up the charcoal a little bit just to jack up the heat even further. And we're going to get ready to start cutting probably another 15 minutes or so.
The mezadaki are ready, we're going to take them off. And the squeeze of lemon juice on top of our luganka goes perfectly.
Opa, the first meze. And that's it guys, so we're 45 minutes into the cook. It's time now for us to lift this up high, away from the heat. And then Anthony's gonna come through and we're gonna start slicing out the crispy pieces. So, together, we're gonna lift this up. You right?
Yep.
And we're gonna flip it over to the outside of the Souvla. Just so it's up high and we've got more room to work. So as you can see, we've got a lot of crispy ends. Okay, and that's all we're gonna be taking off for now. We're just gonna clean up this gyros and make everything nice and symmetrical and then pop it back onto the charcoal. That's it.
Alright, let's go.
So we'll pop this back onto the lower level, the lower deck.
So this is how much we've cut off.
You can get started with some gyros, or you can just use that as some meze to get you by.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's test this out.
Crazy though.
And it's very juicy. Now, this isn't even the good part. So what we've done there is we've just shaven off all the crispy pieces, and now we've given this an even shape right around the whole gyros. Now it's gonna cook much more evenly because it's pretty much all the same level throughout.
Yeah, now every 15 minutes we're gonna keep cutting. All we're looking for is just to color it and to cut.
And we'll probably just scratch up the charcoal just to keep the intensity up. And if need be, you always add more, keep the temperature high now. We're not trying to slow roast this, we're trying to grill it, brown and cut.
Now we'll chuck a few bitters on as we start getting ready to eat. Nico, look how intense the heat is. The chicken's crisping up perfectly. Alright guys, it's been 15 minutes. Now we're ready for the first proper cut. We're going to lift it up to a high level just so it's easier for us to cut. Oh Nico,
That's wild, huh?
yeah.
So basically what we're doing again is giving it a slight trim, a little haircut. Just all the crispy pieces again, they're coming right off.
Oh Nico. Alright, that's it.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna pop this back onto the fire.
Maybe. Beautiful.
I reckon I don't need to we start eating a little bit, eh?
Bloody oath.
You hungry there? Let's go. Have a look at that. Anthony, what do you reckon there?
Nice and juicy.
What do you reckon there?
Very beautiful. Oh. Nico, run.
Yeah, like, what's
You can't go without that. That's killer. It's that good, it's leaking.
Guys, if you want to be a manga,
You gotta cook like a manga.